Yo, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of the Sauce. Continuing on with the first day of the NBA playoffs. This is the third game, Sixers, Knicks. I already uploaded video for the first two if you want to check them out. So yeah, Sixers, Knicks, let's roll.
Welcome to the Sauce. The Sauce. Sauce. Hey, get the sauce.
All right, Philadelphia on the road in New York for game one here. Looks like the Knicks are now laying 3. I saw this at 2.5 earlier today, so it looks like most books have bumped this up to an even 3. Total sitting at 209. Let's take a quick look at the spreadsheet, and according to the model, we should see a 2-point Knicks win. Final score 112-110 New York. Injuries and inactives, and we'll start with Philadelphia. Joel Embiid added to the injury report, listed as questionable for this game. I mean, you would think Joel Embiid plays here, but they tweeted out that they added him to the injury report and listed as questionable, so maybe he is questionable. Who knows? Obviously, we know he just returned from injury, and he definitely does not look 100%, so I wouldn't be completely shocked if he sits out game one. So we'll have to wait and see with that. Robert Covington and DeAnthony Melton still out for Philly. They've been out for a while, though. On the New York side, nobody knew. Julius Randle, obviously, out for the rest of the year. Other than that, Knicks should be at full strength for this one. Betting trends on the Philly side look great. Sixers, 10-1 against the spread in their last 11, the one being the game we just saw the other night. They failed to cover against the Heat. They won the game, though, obviously. They're also 5-0 against the spread in their last 5 on the road. So Philly's covered 5 straight on the road. New York's got some nice-looking trends as well. Not as good as the Sixers, but 8-5 against the spread in their last 13, 5-2 against the spread in their last 7 at home, and the New York Knicks have been all overs. 11-1 to the over in the last 12 Knicks games. Knicks took the season series this year. New York took 3 out of 4 against Philly. Joel Embiid only played in one of these games, though. It was a January 5th matchup. Knicks won that game by 36 points, though. So the game where Embiid did play, New York won in blowout fashion. The last meeting was on March 12th at Madison Square Garden, and the Knicks won 106-79. So let's match these two teams up on the court, and we'll start with some net efficiency numbers in the last 10 games. Philadelphia's been better on paper. Overall net efficiency, 3rd to 12th in the last 10. But look at the strength of schedule. New York is at 8th, Philadelphia 26th. So as far as raw data, the Sixers have been playing better basketball than the Knicks, but they've done it against a much easier schedule. Philly's been surprisingly attacking the basket a lot more recently. The other night against Miami, 42 out of their 105 points came at the rim, and that's the Heat. I mean, Miami's got one of the most elite rim-protecting defenses in the NBA, and you could see it here in the numbers from the last 5 games. 34% of the Sixers shot attempts in the last 5 are coming at the basket, which makes this game kind of tough to predict because the Knicks on the season almost as elite as Miami protecting the basket. They've been elite protecting the rim for most of the year, but the numbers don't look amazing recently. Just 13th in defensive efficiency at the rim in the last 5 games. Tom Thibodeau's defensive strategy is pretty simple here. Put a ton of pressure on the perimeter, force you inside to take contested layups. The reason I'm bringing this up is Miami kind of runs a similar defense. Now, the Sixers in that game, they won 105-104, but they shot just 42% from the floor in that one. It's the Sixers defense that got them the win over the Heat. So can the Sixers defense put up that same kind of performance against New York that they did against Miami? And look, we can poke holes in the Knicks defense recently. It hasn't been quite as elite, but we can't poke holes in the offense because the Knicks offense has been on fire. Extremely active on the offensive glass recently, and they have been all season. Philly, 18th in defensive rebounding rate in the last 10 games. Knicks have been top 3 all year. But if we switch it from the last 10 games to the last 5 games when Joel Embiid's inactive, you can see the Sixers have drastically improved in that department. They're 7th in defensive rebounding rate. So I don't know if the offensive rebounding opportunities are going to be there for the Knicks that have been there all year. That's why we need to know the status of Joel Embiid before we responsibly place a bet in this one. What I do like about the Knicks offense is they do a great job protecting the basketball. This is a Philadelphia defense that's been reliant on forcing turnovers all season. Probably won't happen in this one on the road in New York. The Knicks do a great job protecting the ball. Now, I do have to bring something up about the Sixers defense, and honestly, this is one of the main reasons I took Miami plus the points in the last game. When's the last time Philadelphia played a decent offense? Look at their recent opponents. The Nets, the Magic, whose offense has gone completely downhill the last couple months, the Pistons, the Spurs, the Grizzlies, the Heat. The Heat are a defensive team. That offense isn't anything to write home about. Oklahoma City was without SGA and Jalen Williams, so that's the Oklahoma City game. The Raptors, the Cavs, decent offense, Clippers, and Kings. So yeah, Philadelphia's looking like an elite defense on paper recently, but they've played 9 straight games against bottom 10 offenses. And when you go back further and start finding some teams that are capable of scoring, you see 3 straight losses for the Sixers. Now, that was back before Embiid returned to the lineup, I know. I'm just saying, I don't know if Philadelphia's defensive numbers would look so great if they've been playing some decent competition. And what else did we see in that Heat-Sixers game the other night? Fast break wasn't there for Philly, and that's been a huge part of their offense. Since March 15th, they've been one of the best fast breaks in basketball, 6th in frequency, 1st in efficiency. Miami has an elite transition defense. They actually outscored the Sixers in fast break points in that game, 13-11. Want to know who's been playing even better defense against the fast break than the Heat have? The New York Knicks. Since March 15th, they're 4th in frequency, 3rd in efficiency. So I expect the Knicks to be able to take the fast break away just like the Heat did. And if you remember in the video I uploaded the other night, I said I expected the Heat defense to be able to take away the three-point shot and the fast break from Philly, which they kind of did. And Bam Adebayo, I said, is a good enough defender to keep Embiid from single-handedly winning the game. And that's where we find our difference here, because unlike Miami, who's given Joel Embiid problems, Joel Embiid always seems to go off against the Knicks, at least he has recently. In his last 6 games against New York, he's averaging 32.5 points per game, shooting 50% from the floor, averaging 16 free throw attempts a game. New York doesn't have Bam Adebayo to put out a great one-on-one defensive performance against Embiid. Instead, they have Hartenstein and Mitchell Robinson rotating on and off, which is solid, but not quite the same. So I really think Joel Embiid's going to go off on this one if he plays and if he's healthy, which I realize are big ifs. If he doesn't play, I think the Knicks win comfortably. And to be honest, I'm betting the Knicks either way. They're my team. I think they're the better overall team than Philly right now, although I do admit it's close. I said before the playoffs that the Sixers and obviously the Celtics, 2 teams you didn't want to see in the Eastern Conference. I'm not worried about the Bucks, Cavs, Magic. I was worried about the Celtics and the Sixers. And, of course, we get Philly in the first round. But I'm going to take New York. I'm going to lay the 3 points at home here, sticking with my guys. I'm a little worried, but I'm on the Knicks. Live show, 10:30 a.m. Eastern time. I got NHL guys coming on first to give NHL playoff picks. Then we're doing NBA playoff picks, and then we're doing MLB. Back to back to back. I got guests rotating on and off. Should be a great live show. If you're able to make it, would love to see you in the comments. If you want my top bets or top bets from anyone on the staff here, head over to KyleKirms.com. The information's right on the homepage. There's also a link to join the Discord there if you're interested. Let's have ourselves a great weekend. Remember to bet responsibly, and I'll talk to you in the Discord.